Nobody comes into this house without paying the price.
Not here! Not ever!
Welcome everybody to MBL Live for this Week 11 matchup between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm Sonny Weaver alongside Bomber himself tonight for this matchup. Now, Bomber, these are two teams that are obviously struggling, neither looking for playoff contention, but at this point, it's a matter of pride for these guys. So it looks like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are actually going to be receiving this kick. What are you hearing coming out of Tampa Bay right now?
Well, Tampa Bay's obviously 1-8 right now. I spoke with the GM earlier, and he was talking about this being a lost season. He said, I don't want to call this a lost season, but with only one win in 11 weeks, it might start looking that way. We've let all these vets know that we're going to be looking at free agency to improve the team down the line. And right now it's just time to see if that young talent can produce. So it looks like Tampa's going to be switching over from, playing their vets, trying to put the best that they got on the field today to see what they got in this youth, to see if that's something they can work with moving forward.
The quarterback Jameis Winston, coming out in his second year, sophomore season, comes out under center, setting up in a tight formation. They're throwing outside quick, and that's going to be a reception. 7-yard pickup on the play. So Mike Evans with that pickup. Now, this Kansas City defense has not been able to get pressure on the defense all year. Dontario Poe leading the team with 3 sacks, 9 total sacks on the year. This is not a defense I think that Jameis Winston's really going to have to worry about.
Yeah, definitely. And Jameis Winston, actually, the funny thing is, the guy only has taken 8 sacks this year. That means the line has kept him pretty upright. He finishes in the top 3 for least amount of sacks this year on a quarterback. So without that pressure from Kansas City too, it looks like he's going to be able to get the throws off that he needs to make, and I expect a big game from Mike Evans today.
So Charles Sims on the carry there, not much happening. Sims playing right now for the injured Doug Martin. Winston comes out here, weak set, I formation. Going to drop back on the play. He's got the crosser. It's going to be complete to the tight end, Austin Safarian-Jenkins, for the first down.
And let's touch on Charles Sims a little bit, though. 4.7 yards per carry this year, 3 touchdowns. He's had a pretty nice year in his sophomore season from West Virginia. Do you see this guy as being someone that could share carries with Doug Martin when he returns? Those are all the questions they're asking in Tampa right now, as they're currently 1-8, and Doug Martin's in no hurry to get back to the team this year.
Winston's going to go ahead and deliver the ball down to the 49-yard line for the first down, and that's another pickup by Safarian-Jenkins. On the subject of Charles Sims, it's very interesting you mentioned that. There's a lot of questions around if Sims can actually be an every down back, or if he is more of the third down back with Martin taking the load. We'll find more about that once Martin actually comes back into the lineup, but for now, Sims will get his chance to show that. So on 2nd and inches, Winston's going to throw it to the outside, and that's going to be an errant pass. Unfortunately, he had the man open, but that's going to set up 3rd and inches here for Tampa Bay.
Yeah, it looked like Cameron Brate, the tight end, was sitting there wide open on the little spot in, I believe, a 3 tight end set right there. And Winston just completely missed him and then overthrew the out route on the right.
So you've got Mike Evans and Jameis Winston, the second-year quarterbacks, looking for a target to take over, and you'd think that'd be Evans, but really they're struggling to get any of their wide receivers to become a dominant force here. Line up here, 3rd and inches. Winston's going to change the play at the line. It is going to be a handoff to Sims. Yeah, and he's going to get that first down, but a flag on the play. That's going to be an unnecessary illegal block in the back by the center. That's going to hurt because they had that first down, and now it's setting up 3rd and 3 here. But what I was saying there, no wide receiver really has stepped up. They don't have one wide receiver in the top 50 right now as far as yardage concerned. So I think at this point, Tampa Bay is looking for somebody to step up in that wide receiving core.
Let's look at this wide receiver touchdown. Mike Evans, if I told you by week 11 he'd have only 1 touchdown, Vincent Jackson with 1 touchdown, And then their third string, Adam Humphries, with 2 touchdowns. That's 4 touchdowns between your wide receiver core as Sims fails to pick up the first down conversion on 3rd and 3, and they're going to look to punt here. That's just not enough production. How much money are they paying to Mike Evans and Vincent Jackson that in Week 11 you're looking at 300 yards from Vincent Jackson, 423 from Evans, and 2 touchdowns combined? Well, that's just not going to be enough.
Vincent Jackson at 33 is at the tail end, the twilights of his year. Or his career, I should say. So what you're getting now is Evans still on the rookie contract. I think they're going to let Vincent Jackson walk at the end of this year. They're going to have to get younger at that wide receiver spot. Humphries really isn't cutting it. A lot of things they got to do there. But we're going to flip the ball here as Kansas City takes over at the 12-yard line. This Kansas City offense, Alex Smith actually 11th in yardage in NBL right now. But the matchup of this game, it's going to be the right guard. Laurent Davy Tardif, giving up the 4th most sacks in NBL, 7 sacks on the year. That right guard, he's going to need some help. And then on the other side, though, you've got Clinton McDonald with 5.5 sacks lined up over top of him. So that'll be the matchup to watch here as you see Charles get stuffed in the backfield. Is this Kansas City line going to be able to protect Alex Smith against a decent pass rush here from Tampa Bay?
Yeah, I definitely think they're going to need a heavy production out of the run game today. I'm going to expect a lot from Jamal Charles and from Spencer Ware. Spencer Ware was actually the starter coming into this game, and minutes before we go to start, they say Charles is going to take the reps. So a little bit of confusion going on. They're 3-6. Kansas City's not necessarily throwing in the towel right now, but I thought that was kind of weird. I mean, we got our prep, and it said, Spencer Ware is going to be the starter. Jamal Charles is going to ease back in, take some 3rd down snaps, keep him healthy. And here he is. He's in motion right now, and he's starting all 3 snaps. You think that was a little game by and there he is across the middle. Oh, no, that's Wilson. Marcus Wilson takes him down to the 35-yard line. But do you think that was a little bit of game by Kansas City, as Tampa might have game planned all week to go against Spencer Ware, and now you got a healthy Jamal Charles coming back, taking all the snaps?
Well, sources are saying that Jamal Charles was more of a game-time type decision. He was showing good in practice, and in the end, they felt like he was ready to roll. So they give him back that starting job as this is a struggling offense. Charles cutting back there for only about 2 yards on the gain there. I think they're looking for any spark here. Spencer Ware has had an okay year splitting reps with Jamal Charles, but nothing special. So Charles gets the start, hoping to get some of rhythm early in this game. So Smith's going to come out here on a 2nd and 7. It's going to be a single back set, big set, 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers wide. Tampa Bay spreads the line looking for the outside run, and that's going to be pushed upside or inside by Jamal Charles. That's going to be about a 7-yard gain on the run, gaining him a 1st down on the play.
You see Jamal Charles picking up some nice yardage again on the season, only averaging 3.1 yards per carry, but he seems to have his legs underneath him today.
So as we look at some of the future here, because obviously these teams are looking to the future, Eric Berry gets re-signed to a very nice contract, one of the top safeties in the league after dealing with cancer for a couple years. Comes back in a situation where he's going to have a shot.
And downfield
Smith
goes
taking
Smith.
A shot downfield.
Oh, whoa. Interception city for Tampa Bay. I didn't see that coming, Sonny. I mean, caught us a little off guard right there. Runs a little play-action shot and takes a shot down the field after a couple nice drives down the field and picking up a couple 1st downs.
Yeah, so he gets greedy there. Brent Grimes, the offseason acquisition by Tampa Bay, comes up big there on the play, and that's going to flip the field here for Jameis Winston. Working out of his own shadow of his end zone, 12-yard line. Shotgun set, bunch to the left, changing the play at the line, dropping back on 1st down, throwing to the left side. Wow, big breakup there by the Kansas City defense. I think that may have been Eric Berry there with the breakup.
And as you talked about earlier, Eric Berry signs an extension. What a comeback story. I mean, this is definitely something that many people around the league see this guy and they think of him as a perennial safety in the Madden Bomber League, and he continues to show it day in and day out, and I think he's very worthy of the contract that he received. Actually, I think they kind of got away with the steal a little bit.
Handoff to Sims on 2nd down, and he just gets stuffed in the backfield. Tampa Bay's offensive line really not helping them out right now because there are no holes to run through up there.
Yeah, putting them in a 3rd and long right here, so we'll probably see a little bit of something to Mike Evans from Jameis Winston. But on a 3rd and long at your own 10-yard line, you're kind of backed up. Maybe they just play it safe, run a draw up the middle, and just punt this ball.
So it's going to be a twin back set here out of the shotgun. Humphreys in the slot. Winston dropping back. Humphreys open down the middle, throwing to Humphreys, and that's going to be caught. Good throw and catch by Jameis Winston to Humphreys, and that's going to be about 22 yards on the pickup, setting them up a 1st and 10 from the 32-yard line.
Yeah, Adam Humphreys has been a big producer for this offense. He's only 5'11", $195 out of Clemson, but he's got 390 receiving yards, puts him 2nd on the team in receiving yards, and 2 touchdowns. He leads the wide receiver core in touchdowns. Can you believe that? A guy named Humphreys on Tampa is leading them in touchdowns this season.
Can't believe that. There's pressure coming. Winston gets it away to Safarian Jenkins for what I believe is his 3rd reception of the game already here in the 1st quarter. So Austin Safarian Jenkins becoming Jameis Winston's quick outlet route so far early in this game.
Yeah, you look at a tight end like Safarian Jenkins, definitely has the speed, agility, and the ability to get downfield, and he puts a lot of pressure on those linebackers when he comes underneath against zone coverage, and he looks to be a good target for Winston early in this game.
Going to be an I formation set. Twins out to let Winston changing the play at the line. It's going to be a handoff up the middle to Sims. The hole was there, but it closed quickly, so it's going to end up being about a 2-yard gain on the play, setting up 2nd and 8 here for Winston.
Yeah, definitely early struggles for Tampa running the ball. 4 carries for only 3 yards right now for Sims. But they got to stay with it. They can't go away from it. It's really going to help open up the passing game and definitely allow them to take a shot over the top as long as they continue to run the ball. They have to stay with it.
So we got goose eggs here at the end of 1 here in Kansas City. 0-0 Tampa Bay with the ball from their own 46-yard line as we get ready to start the 2nd quarter. Jameis Winston comes out. He's going to set up in a single back set. Sims in the backfield. Evans to the left. Humphreys to the right. Winston's going to hand off to Sims to the left-hand side. He's got a hole moving down the field to the 47-yard line of the Kansas City Chiefs. That's going to be about a 9.5-yard gain on the play, setting up 3rd and inches here.
Yeah, everybody knows Kansas City's defense, rush defense has been really strong this year. It's been number 1 against the run. And their top 10 defense in the NBL. So for a top 20, a 20-plus offense to be moving the ball like this, it's imperative they pick up this 1st down right now. But they really have been moving the ball, and I see a lot of positive things coming out of Tampa early in this game.
Winston barking out orders, 3rd and inches, dropping back to throw on 3rd and inches. Does get the ball off, but it looks like a drop there, and that's going to set up 4th and inches, and it's going to be a punt. Kind of crazy play call there on 4th or 3rd and inches to go ahead and throw that ball.
Yeah, it looked like he had a slant coming across the field wide open. He decided to go to his number 2 tight end and for another drop for Tampa, and they're going to be punting the ball back off to Kansas City as they fair catch it, and they're going to take it at the 20-yard line.
So Alex Smith, as we talked about, 11th in yardage in the NBL, yet only 28th in TDs. He's only got 8 TDs and 11 interceptions, so he's not positive in that TD interception ratio. Definitely trying to take some chances rather than working down the field, and that's something this Tampa Bay defense could probably use to capitalize on as he play actions and does throw down the field to Conley to the 40-yard line for a gain on the play.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit more about Alex Smith's struggles this year. His completion percentage is also in the bottom half of the league, finishing in the bottom 7 at 54% completion. That's just not going to get done. This quarterback is known for accuracy. He's known for putting the ball where it needs to be, good ball, pass precision when he throws the ball. And he's really been struggling with this consistency this season. And I'd like to see him finish the season out strong so they can feel confident going into next season that they don't have to think about making a change at that quarterback position.
They come out in a 3 wide receiver set. Wilson in the slot. Charles in the backfield. Kelsey to the left. Motioning Macklin left to right. It's going to be a pitch outside to Charles. He had a blocker. Unfortunately, the block was blown, and what should have been a gain on the play ends up coming up 2nd and 8. So short gain, but it could have been a lot bigger if that lineman could have gotten outside and held his block.
And if I'm Jamal Charles, feeling fresh, feeling good, like I was feeling at the beginning of this game, look how good he looked. he's coming outside. He's got one blocker to take a block from his lineman, and he's got a safety to beat for a touchdown, and it never develops, and that's got to be frustrating for Jamal Charles.
Smith dropping back on 2nd and 8, gets the ball out to Macklin. Macklin makes a move, gets upended at the 46-yard line for a first down on the play. So Alex Smith, one thing to keep in mind here, and this is something interesting to think about, he's been sacked 19 times already this year, and that's the 8th most in NBL. But something to keep in mind is he's got a very young offensive line. It's the offensive line averages about 3.5 years of experience, so very young offensive line. Smith needs to get that ball out, and so far this game we've seen that occur. So it's going to be a weak set here. Charles in the backfield dropping back on the play. Charles open across the middle, but he pushes it downfield. And he does pull it in, so looks like Macklin's going to get that reception, pushing him down to the 23-yard line, and Kansas City looks to be having some offense at this point.
Yeah, Macklin's been their big play guy. He's got over 500 yards on the season, 3 touchdowns, 30 receptions, 11 weeks in. The offensive, they've had a really balanced offensive attack, but Macklin has stood out, and he's made some tremendous plays this year. As you see right there, he puts them into almost into the red zone with that catch right there as Jamal Charles lines up single back in the backfield, takes the ball up the middle for a gain of 0. 5 rushes, 11 yards for Jamal Charles thus far. What do you think Kansas City needs to do to continue to put this ball and punch 6 in against Tampa right now?
A lot of zone defense coming from Tampa Bay right now. A lot of cover 3 to be exact. So pushing it up the seams out of the slot and the tight end would be a good way. Travis Kelce needs to get involved here right now. Probably underutilized right now in Kansas City. That would be someone that I'd be looking for right here on this 3rd down as that reverse doesn't work, setting up a 3rd and 11. Travis Kelce down the seam is what I'm thinking here on 3rd and 11 for this offense.
Yeah, as me and you both talked about pre-show, Travis Kelce, Kelce 6'5", 260 pounds. It's the big target, and he's athletic, and he can make those plays on the ball that can give Alex Smith that big target in the red zone to come up with 6 points. He's got 3 touchdowns on the season. I'd like to see him get a target here early in this game as they give him the target across the middle, and he drops it. And they failed to pick up the first down. Looks like it's going to be a field goal for the Kansas City Chiefs.
That's unfortunate, too, because Conley on the post route was wide open, had inside leverage there. Should have been a touchdown, but they'll go ahead and settle for 3 here as Kansas City goes up 3-0 with 2 minutes and 2 seconds left in the half. 3-0 Kansas City. Tampa Bay getting the ball off here right before the 2-minute warning. The kick is going to get teed up here and knocked down the field. Short kick down to the 5-yard line. It's going to be returned up to the 20. 25 breaks a move to the outside down to the 27. And that's where Jameis Winston will take over.
This is important, man. Tampa got the ball to start the game, so it's going to go back to Kansas City. So it's important that they can drive down and get a good drive and possibly put some points on the board.
Yeah, and so you've got the 2-minute warning is the last, but you got 3 timeouts. No need to push it downfield. You're showing pressure up the middle right now. Single high safety, it looks like here for Winston. Hopefully Winston sees that as he drops back, throwing across the field. It's going to be caught. Humphreys down to the 34-yard line. No urgency here yet as the clock ticks under 1:50 here in the first half.
Yeah, nice patience right there by Jameis Winston to pick up 7. Hit a reliable target in the slot. Humphreys seems to be one of his favorite receivers thus far. We're not seeing much any targets to Vincent Jackson in the first half thus far.
So I've heard that they're keeping Vincent Jackson off the field due to some issues as far as play has been concerned. But Mike Evans, their big target that they're going to be looking to extend here soon, has been relatively quiet this game. Winston dropping back on 2nd and 3rd, moving in the pocket, throwing outside and wide outside there as it's going to be out of bounds for no good. 3rd and 3 here.
Yeah, it just seems like the talent on the wide receiver core for the Bucs pretty much stops at Mike Evans. I mean, I like the Humphreys guy, but we haven't seen much of Vincent Jackson or Cecil Shorts due to injury and just inconsistent play this season for both of them. So I think it's put a lot of pressure on Jameis Winston, and not having Doug Martin probably attributes to that as well.
So
Little jump off sides.
unfortunately, yeah, they're going to go ahead and call that a false start, it looks like. So that's going to set up 3rd and 8 here. Not helping out their offense here as they're trying to put some sort of 2-minute drive together here. Winston's going to come out, single back set 3 wide. Humphrey's in the slot. Safarian Jenkins to the right-hand side. Winston's going to change the play at the line.
They need definitely to pick up first down right here to see if they can keep the drive alive as Winston steps back, looking over the middle, and down goes Winston. Sacked by Bailey. Kansas City burns the timeout. They're going to get the ball back up 3-0, and they get the ball back after half. Now, how do you play this final drive in this first half?
Well, you're going to push it downfield. Obviously, this Buccaneers defense has had its struggles this year, and you know, it's 19th overall defense, but obviously they've still had their moments. Good move by D'Anthony Thomas, taking it down to the 31-yard line. Buccaneers defense missing Quan Alexander, broken arm, so he's going to be out this year. So the middle of the field is going to be soft. You've got 2 timeouts. You've got plenty of time. You're down 3. Any sort of points here is an advantage. So you still have the time to use the middle of the field. You don't necessarily have to go outside on these plays. Alex Smith's going to come up under center in a 3-wide set. Going to be a play action off the throwing outside to Kelsey. Good, good tight end screen there, but Kelsey only gets 9 yards on the play, so not a first down. Set up 2nd and 1. The clock keeps ticking under 55 seconds, 53 seconds on the clock as Alex Smith will be coming back out onto the field, trying to score here before half as the Kansas City Chiefs lead in this game 3-0. Smith dropping back on the play. You've got slants on both sides, and that's going to be complete. Good completion on the play as Andy Reid calls a timeout at 41 seconds left in the half.
I definitely would like to see some more vertical type offenses right now. Maybe drive the ball, hit a seam, hit a deep dig down the field for Kansas City. But they're staying within their comfort zone, and they're throwing underneath, and they're keeping it simple. As a tough throw by Alex Smith right there, tried to hit the corner against Brent Grimes, and that is incomplete, putting a 2nd and 10 for Kansas City on the final drive of the first half on their own 48-yard line. Looks like they're just trying to get into field goal range.
Yeah, this is classic Andy Reid West Coast offense. You get the ball out of your hand quick. Alex Smith moves that ball, tries to get it to a receiver, let him make a play. Not working right now. They need to push it downfield as they come out 4-wide set. Smith dropping back. Kelsey down the center of the field, but they choose to go into double coverage to Conley. But he actually comes down with it, they're saying. I thought he was out of bounds. Clock's ticking here.
Whoa, what a catch.
Is that going to get it reviewed? That looks like he could have been out of bounds.
If I was Tampa, I'm asking for the review right now. I didn't see how he came down with that pass.
I wasn't sure he held possession, but at the end it looked like his feet may have been out of bounds, but it looks like they're going to go ahead and give him the catch and the out of bounds. So
no challenge flag thrown.
Smith dropping back. Good throw there to Macklin, but drop on the play.
No challenge flag by Tampa right there. Very suspect, very questionable decision. Nothing really to lose at that point either with 3 timeouts in the first half. I would have thrown the challenge flag right there and definitely made that play get reviewed and definitely give your defense a break to get off the field and get them a breather. Play action, Alex and Smith.
Oh, big sack. Again.
Big sack number 59, Tampa. And it's going to put him at that field goal range right now where, it's probably going to put him at close to a 50-yarder. Possibly a run here on 3rd and 20. Maybe just to get him a little bit better of a centered kick and possibly a couple more yards to make it a little easier a field goal as the Chiefs looking to go up 6-0 heading into halftime.
Interesting note, Scooby Wright with the sack on that play. Wright just cut from the Redskins last week, comes into Tampa Bay, gets the starting nod as Quan Alexander is out with that broken arm. So that's a good feel-good story for Scooby Wright as Smith drops back here 3rd and 20, throwing down the field into coverage, and that's picked off. Bad throw, but Bakari Rambo gets the start over Chris Connie. Connie not too happy with the call there, but Bakari Rambo showing why he's getting the start here in Tampa Bay as he kicks off Alex Smith, and that's going to seal this half, probably going into half here at 0-3.
Well, it looks like they just left 3 points on the board right there. Definitely would have been a 45-yard field goal if they would have took the run up the middle. And now we got 3-0 going into half. Those 3 points could come back to bite them towards the end of the game.
Definitely. So as the clock ticks down here for the half, I'd like to go ahead and thank one of our sponsors tonight, Web3KS.com. Bomber League, Web3KS.com is our official graphics designer. And so if you're interested in graphics, affordable graphics, great graphics that you see here on NBL Network, and any of our sites, Web3KS.com is the place to go. So check them out for all of your graphic needs. Tampa Bay kicking off the Kansas City to start the game. What do we need to see out of Tampa Bay at this point to get back in this game? Not a whole lot of scoring, but Tampa Bay is trailing.
What you need from Tampa is just to get something from that run game. They're going to need that run game to open up the passing game. The pass game is obviously struggling right now without a sufficient running attack from Sims. So we're going to need to see a little bit more from Sims and them to stay with the running game. Hope they can break out a couple big runs.
And so on the other side, Kansas City hasn't really been able to get the running game going. Jamal Charles getting that start. What does Kansas City need to do different, as they've only put up 3 points, obviously, in this game up to this point?
I think Kansas City made a huge mistake taking that deep shot at the end of the half. That can't be what the coach said. There's those plays sometimes, Sonny, where the coach goes, all right, here's what we're going to look for. If it's not there, throw it away, right? And that was a situation, a perfect one. Get out of the pocket and throw that ball away, and we'll take the 3 points. He went for the glory, and it ended up backfiring as he threw an interception right before half. And Alex Smith just you can't, as a veteran quarterback, you can't make that mistakes. And that's why he's 8 touchdowns, 12 interceptions on the year right now, because he's making decisions like that and throwing at 54%.
So Kansas City tried to get cute there with the flip, and that ends up being a loss of 6 on the play. They push it downfield into double coverage. Lucky that one ends up just falling harmlessly to the ground. So 3rd and 16. Jamal Charles, 6 carries, 5 yards. Nothing's going on there. And at the same time, Alex Smith trying to push it in double coverage. This Kansas City offense is looking inept at this point.
Yeah, I don't know where he was looking there. I don't know what's going on in Alex Smith's transition. I don't know his progressions he's making. That pass really made no sense. It was covered from the beginning. It was covered towards the end. And a free blitzer gets through to Alex Smith, and there you go. There you go. I mean, he's got 19 sacks on the season. Maybe he's seen that pressure coming. But when that linebacker got in for that blitz right there, you saw him, instead of taking the sack, try to make a quick read and force it into double coverage and give his tight end an opportunity to make a play. You can't really like those kind of throws when you're up 3-0 right now.
I'm not sure if those routes were run quite right, as you had 2 guys in the exact same vicinity, which normally means somebody did something wrong there. But nonetheless, Tampa Bay is going to take that ball back on the punt down to the 34-yard line. That's where Jameis Winston's going to come out and try to get something going on with this offense. As we've discussed, nothing going with the running game, as Sims hasn't been able to find anything tonight. Still looking for Mike Evans. Somebody put it on APB, all points bulletin for the missing man, Mike Evans. They've thrown to him once this game. He did get the reception. I'd like to see him maybe take a deep shot here to Mike Evans early in this drive.
Yeah, let me tell you how messed up this wide receiver core is for Tampa, as Sims takes the run and it looks like he's going to get no gain trying to bounce it outside. You got Mike Evans, low production year, definitely hasn't lived up to his ability. Vincent Jackson's in a contract year. They went to the table a couple weeks ago to discuss an extension. It didn't happen. Vincent Jackson felt a little, he didn't like the offer. He felt it was a little low. He brought it to the team. There's been distractions. And then Cecil Shorts, who was supposed to come in and be their slot guy, has been hurt the whole year. So this wide receiver core has been just a complete disappointment for this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team. And I think that is the reason why this offense has been struggling.
Play action throwing down the field to Mike Evans, the man we talked about, but he was probably alligator arming it there as Eric Berry was looking to blow him up on the play. And there's a little scuffle after the play. Mike Evans and Peters getting into it. However, no flag on the play, so it'll be 3rd and 12 here, and you can sense the frustration coming from Mike Evans at this point.
Do you expect Mike Evans to come down with that ball? I mean, that was a ball into traffic. He's going to take a hard hit. They're 1-8. It's got to be going through his head at some point that this probably isn't worth it to take that kind of hit in this kind of game at this point in the season.
I believe they call that a business decision. So Winston dropping back, throws the screen out to Sims, who's got a big path, and he's running down to the 40,
Oh, there he goes.
30, 20.
There he
There's a
goes.
flag on the play.
The
Sims
flag.
is going to score, but I think it's coming back for possibly a block in the back.
Unnecessary block in the back by Mike Evans. Going to put it to a 3rd and 1. That is huge.
Points off the
Tampa.
board, and we were just talking about the frustrations of Mike Evans. Well, that is reciprocated from the coaching staff as they're taking 7 off the board, pushing it to a 3rd and 1 here. And if they don't score on this drive, Mike Evans is going to have an awkward confrontation with the coaching staff on this side.
Yeah, well, he does the business decision. Then he gets into it with the guy he's blocking. He ends up shoving him in the back, bringing the play back. And those are 2 just bonehead decisions by Mike Evans at this point in his career. He's got to know better than that.
So Sims does end up getting the yardage needed for a 1st down, but obviously that is not 7 points. So Tampa Bay up to their 46-yard line. 3 minutes, 58 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter as they trail Kansas City 0-3. So Mike Evans with the big block in the back. Let's see if he can redeem himself. It looks like Kansas City pressing on the outside. Jameis Winston not really looking to push anything downfield as he hands off to Charles Sims for no gain once again on the play. A play-action deep shot on 1st down may be a good call at this point as Mike Evans looking to get that deep ball play downfield.
Yeah, definitely a possibility. I would like to see a little bit more, play calling that just isn't so robotic, isn't so obvious, And I think that's what they need to do at Tampa right now. They're coming out on 1st down. They're running up the middle. It's beginning to get a little robotic and a little obvious for the defense. As you can see, they're getting no gain as Sims had 2 to 3 guys on him immediately when he took that ball in the handoff. And there's down the field throw to Humphries. Does he hang? Man, I am impressed with this little man. I got to say it, man. I'm really impressed with Humphries this game. I mean, Adam Humphries from Clemson, he's 5'11", 195, and he's looking like their best receiver right now.
It's interesting watching this Kansas City defense. They've been playing 8 guys close to the box, really not respecting the deep threat. So at this point, if you're Tampa Bay, you have to push it downfield and make them respect that deep threat. Opening up, hopefully.
Oh, there it goes. Pick City. Pick City, Kansas City takes it down to the house. Wow.
Ron Parker just showing off the moves there, reading the play, looking to go out to the flat.
Wow.
Jameis Winston was, and Ron Parker saw it coming the whole way, breaks on it, and that's a big play. As Kansas City goes up, assuming they get the extra point here, 10-0, Tampa Bay's offense looking stagnant as can be.
As Ron Parker picks up his 3rd interception on the year, and that's his 1st pick 6, and that's huge. 10-0 against a struggling offense might just do the trick for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, in a game where points are hard to come by, that defensive score could be the difference in this game as it's 10-0 Kansas City with about 2 minutes and 35 seconds left in the quarter. Jameis Winston, he's going to get another shot here. We've talked about it, robotic play calling. They run on 1st down, it seems, every 1st down. Play action, deep shot, that's where they need to go to Mike Evans.
Let's see something like that. This year, Jameis Winston just threw his 14th interception. We are in week 11. He's 7 touchdowns to 14 interceptions. That's got to kind of, those kind of plays kind of got to kill your morale a little bit. You got a guy, your star receiver, making business decisions out there. On catchable balls. Vincent Jackson's not even seeing the field right now. You pretty much got Humphries as your only guy. Cecil Shorts can't play. He's been knocked up and beat around this whole season. You've had okay play out of your tight end position, but you'd like to see. And there's another just run up the middle on 1st down. And as a fan of the Madden Bomber League, as a fan of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you have to be saying, Sonny, come on, man, let's do something different, man. This isn't working.
Well, like we talked about, it's becoming too predictable, and I think the defensive coordinator for Kansas City's figured out, and he's selling out. We've seen a lot of man blitzing on 1st down. You've got to take advantage of that and push that downfield, get the one-on-one matchup for Mike Evans. You're seeing guys backed off the line here on 2nd down. So once again, you're getting that cover 3 look. Jameis Winston dropping back on 2nd down, looking down the field. settling for Humphreys across the middle, and so he does get the completion, 3rd and 3 here. Not quite pushing that down the field. I think we talked about earlier, you're getting either man or you're getting cover 3 out of this Kansas City defense. Somebody's got to take advantage of that, and that's either got to be Travis Kelce or Humphreys out of the slot, pushing up the middle seams and really making them pay for running that cover 3.
Yeah, 3rd and 3 right here. 3rd and 3. I'm really interested to see what they do. They missed picking up a 3rd down earlier on a run. That one I believe was 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4. See if they go back to Sims right here, or if they trust. Nope. Winston's going to step back and hit. I believe that's Mike Evans for the 1st down as they move the ball to their own 40-yard line. It's 10-0, a minute 15 left in the 3rd quarter. Kansas City up 10-0. Tampa just trying to get on the board.
So Tampa Bay coming out in I formation set, twins to the right, Safarian Jenkins off to let Sims in the backfield. Kansas City slides their line off to the right-hand side. Sims finally getting some big running room up the middle down to the 43-yard line. That's going to be the best carry of the game for Sims, stopped by Eric Berry on the play.
And just when you think the middle's not open and they can't get anything going up the middle, they go up the middle one more time. And they break free in a nice run by Charles Sims. They get down to the opponent's 43-yard line, and this looks like a promising drive at this point right here.
Good cut back there by Charles Sims as he went against the grain as Winston drops back, throws out of the backfield to Sims, who stopped for no gain on the play. But that is the one thing Sims did in that you haven't seen so far. Started running left, nothing there, broke back to the right, and had a good crease coming back across the defense. Maybe they should be looking for more of zone running type scheme here. Probably looking to cut back across the grain more often. Single back set here for Jameis Winston. Once again, big set. Safarian Jenkins, 2 tight end set. That's going to be the end of the 3rd quarter as we come to a close. Kansas City 10, Tampa Bay nothing.
Yeah, this drive is looking promising, but it takes Tampa so long to move the ball up the field. I mean, they need 3 or 4 3rd down conversions just to get into field goal range. And at that point, I mean, how much time is going to be left when you kick the ball back to Kansas City and you need the ball back again? So I'd like to see Tampa tempo speed up a little bit and allow them to play action by Winston right there. Once again, goes underneath and takes it out of bounds. I'd like to see their tempo pick up a little bit, and let's see if we can start driving the ball down the field and you know, stop hitting the flats and underneath, and let's try to take something intermediate to deep.
I think Jameis Winston's looking for a wide open wide receiver, and that does not occur in the NBL. Mike Evans there had a one-on-one matchup. At some point when you're losing at this late stage, you have to trust your wide receiver to be able to go up and get that ball. That's why you have Mike Evans on your team.
And maybe you have something there. Maybe there's some kind of disconnect, and there's some kind of lack of trust going on as another throw to the flat that this one obviously wasn't going to pick up the 1st down. But maybe there's a disconnect. You think that there's something going on in this locker room. There's something going on with this team where there's a lack of trust between Mike Evans and Jameis Winston at Week 11 in this season.
You know, from an outside perspective, you got to wonder, Mike Evans is a good deep ball threat. In a one-on-one matchup, I'm taking Mike Evans over most backs in this league, but yet you get him in these one-on-one matchups and you're not getting the balls thrown to him. You've got to take those shots. 4th and 6 here, Tampa Bay is set up to punt, and that's going to be interesting as they punt here into the end zone, giving the ball back to Kansas City with about 4 minutes, 54 seconds left in this game. Kansas City with a 10-point lead. That almost to me feels like a little bit of a death knell as Tampa Bay seems to be conceding this game to Kansas City.
Yeah, I mean, no trust in the wide receivers, no trust in the kicker. I mean, that's what I'm getting by a punt like that at this point in the game. I see a lot of lack of trust on Tampa. They just don't seem like they're confident that they can pick up those points, that they can throw the ball on 1st down, that they can drive the ball on 3rd and short. You know, I'm sensing just a lot of issues in this offense that you just see a lack of trust, and maybe it's time for a coaching change in Tampa. The owner maybe needs to look over and see who's out there and get some new philosophy and some new strategy going on in Tampa.
So not much of an offensive game here in Kansas City. Macklin motioning left to right, and it's going to be a pass play. Looking across back to Conley, who breaks a tackle down to the 29-yard line. Good play on the play, 3rd and 1 here. You know, if I told you Jamal Charles would have 7 carries for 6 yards, at this point in the game, you probably aren't guessing that Kansas City's winning by 10 points, are you?
Oh, definitely not. But it's kind of it was a pick 6, and then it was on the first drive they kicked the field goal. So their offense has been stagnant. It's not like they've been picking up these big yardages, and that 10 points came from the offense. It pretty much came from the defense, and they kind of just limped their way into a field goal in the first drive of the first quarter. So their offense hasn't been good. You know, they haven't been moving the ball. They are up 10-0, and Tampa's been just worse, to be honest. And that's why we're in the situation we're in. And you know, one big turnover, one big play, Tampa could be right back in this game. But as of right now, Kansas City has pretty much dominated them on the defensive end, and their offense has done just enough to kind of move the chains enough to run some clock.
So Spencer Ware comes in, gets the carry here on 1st down. It's going to be a 5-yard gain. Interesting to note, 2 plays ago, Anthony Sherman lining up at halfback. Jamal Charles, the fullback, the big fullback, getting the carry there to convert that 1st down. So fullbacks do get carries too as he converts the 1st down. 3 minutes, 20 seconds ticking away here in Kansas City. Kansas City up 10-0. 2nd and 5. Alex Smith under center there, motioning Kelsey out to the right. Charles in the backfield. It's going to be a handoff to Charles, but nothing happening there. Gerald McCoy pushes upfield. Big tackle on the play.
Big stop for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Their defense showing a little bit of a pulse, possibly get this ball back, and maybe they can make it a little interesting for the viewers watching this game in Week 11 at the NBL. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Bomber League and hit that like and hit that subscribe button to our NBL Network channel. And, man, multiple guys open right there. I even saw the drag was open, obviously, but you saw the tight end on a little bend back across the middle of the field, wide open. And it was just Alex Smith just had his choice of multiple receivers there to throw to pick up that 1st down.
What you'll notice is both these quarterbacks looking more to the flats than they are towards the center of the field. I don't know if they're scared about turnovers, but you will notice they're looking for more checkdowns than they are for actual running. So the draw play to Charles up the middle, 9 rushes, 6 yards for Jamal Charles, a 5-yard gain on that play. Nothing happening on either side of the balls running-wise as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers call timeout here with 2 minutes, 12 seconds left here on NBL Live. Kansas City up 10-0.
2:12 left in the 4th quarter. They're already starting to burn timeout. So this game's a 1st down or 2 away from essentially being over as Jamal Charles picks up another Kansas. Oh, 3rd and inches. It's going to be short, just short of the 1st down. Is going to run us down to that 2-minute warning.
Yeah, so Tampa Bay is going to go ahead and let it hit the 2-minute warning. I'm not sure Tampa Bay has much of a prayer here. They got to sell out at this point, and if you're Kansas City, you expect that. So probably looking something short here, over the middle, drag route, something quick. Trying to pick up this 1st down, convert this in this game.
So if the game ended right now, our NBL Live player of the game, which you can find on 365.maddenbomberleague.com, mine would have to be Ron Parker with the pick 6 that opened up this game for Kansas City to give them this 10-0 lead.
Yeah, you got to agree with that. Ron Parker's obviously got the only touchdown of the game, but along with that interception returns probably the most yardage that any single player in this game has as well. So Ron Parker playing from the defense but having the best yardage and scoring of the game. So Ron Parker's probably that, as it looks like Kansas City's going to convert that. Tampa Bay calls a timeout, but this one's probably going to belong to Kansas City as they come out here with 1 minute 57 seconds left. Charles in the backfield. Large personnel on the field, but nothing happening there. Charles runs into the defender, and Tampa Bay calls a timeout, send up 2nd and 12.
So if Kansas City just runs the clock out the rest of this quarter, it'll take us down to about 33 seconds left in the game before a punt. Tampa would have no timeouts, needing to score twice. I just don't see it at this point getting done. Screenplay to Jamal Charles. Looks like he's going to pick up almost got to the 1st down marker, which would have definitely sealed the game. Man, I mean, just a good play calling by Kansas City in the 4th quarter. I got to give them credit for that. on offense. They came down, they picked up 3 first downs, what was needed with about, I think they got the ball back with 3.5 left. And they did what was needed to control the clock and get out of here with the win. It wasn't pretty, but it was a win, and it's going to improve them to 4-6 on the season. And as you stated at the beginning of the game that they were out of the playoff race, but at 4-6, I mean, anything can happen. This offense needs to get jump started, but anything can technically happen at 4-6 for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, like you said, it wasn't a pretty win here for Kansas City, but it's a win that much needed. Maybe spoke too early with them being out of the playoff hunt. Probably not getting a wild card, but they are in the hunt for the division. I believe the Chargers leading that division at 6-3. Maybe takes a catastrophic meltdown from the Chargers to get in, but you never know. Tampa Bay searching for answers here. Offense really never got started. Mike Evans can't be happy with the fact that he only got 2 looks, 1 reception on this game. So a lot of answers to be had in Tampa Bay. As we spoke before, the player of the game is going to have to be Ron Parker, as he does come up with the only touchdown of the game. So safety Ron Parker is going to be the NBL Live player of the game. Bomber, any other thoughts coming out of this game? Where do these teams go?
I think what's really going to be more, interesting to watch is Tampa Bay. I think they're going to completely change this team in the offseason. I think you're going to see Winston stay. Martin's going to get healthy, and then Mike Evans and the other pieces, man, I just don't know. I think that they have some young pieces, and they're a good team, and they got a solid youth, but I just don't think the maturity's left. So I think they're going to fill some holes with some veterans and look to compete in the next 2 to 3 seasons. While they're building their young talent. Kansas City kind of in the same boat. They're going to definitely need to improve their offensive game, so get some weapons on that side of the field. But, I mean, it was a drag-out game today. Both offenses couldn't get going.
So that's going to be the final here from Kansas City. Kansas City is your victor today, 10-0 over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. For all of us here at NBL Live, I'm Sonny Weaver alongside Bomber as we thank you for tuning in. Make sure to tune in the future games for NBL Live here on the NBL Network.